Hello peeps and welcome back to Modded Minecraft with Nightdagger. We are on episode 36 and man have we got a lot of stuff to do because I spent ages upon ages upon ages running this system with those two gas turbines back there. And I spent probably about 1,500 buckets of fuel between the two turbines, leaving them running. And I haven't even put a dent in my ore. Like, it's crazy. I did get a lot of tungsten because I processed a lot of my iron. And I did go ahead off camera and set up some automation for feeding all of the necessary supplies into the fractionation unit in order to keep it running. But I'm running out of room to put fuel. And honestly, 2 gas turbines is not going to be sufficient for this. I think we're going to spend the next couple episodes working on breaking into a brand new mod that is going to make powering all of our rotary craft machines so much easier. That's right, it's time to start reactor craft. Now, this is going to require a lot of building and a lot of infrastructure. We're going to have to start with our canola farm. Because if you look out here, I've got my canola farm out here. It's been doing all right, but I don't have any way to automate the recovery of this canola. And I need so much of this stuff going forward if I'm going to be getting into reactor craft. It's not even funny. This system is not going to cut it. So we're going to break all of this up. I'm not even going to bother collecting all of the slime stuff right now. I'll come back for that later. You can see one field of canola gives you a pretty ridiculous amount of seeds, but we need a lot. I mean, this is a drop in the bucket compared to what we actually need. So, I have taken the liberty of building a new room off camera, just to the side of my reactor craft room, right over here. Now, I did do a couple of other things off camera. I went ahead and upgraded most of my drives to 4K storage drives, which is pretty easy. You just take a 1K storage drive, hold it on your hotbar, you shift right click it. That gets you the 1K storage component back, plus an empty drive housing. You combine this thing with 2 more to get a 4K housing, or get 2 more, some quartz glass, some redstone, and a calculation processor. That gets you a 4K, and then you just combine the 4K with an empty housing, which you have from using it, to get your 4K storage cell. So, not terribly difficult to do, but I was really running out of room to hold stuff because, yeah, you can see 4,096 bytes of this have already been used. I'm probably going to need to take these up even to the next step in the not terribly distant future if I don't get my ore situation under control, or even if I do. But yeah, time's a wasting. So I've got this room over here. This is going to be my canola farm. Now, I am going to do a couple of different things to speed the growth of this. First, we are going to check. I haven't tested this off camera, so I don't know if it works. Ztones adds a block called garden soil, which is 4 dirt, 4 sand, and some seeds to get 8 of it. So we're going to make ourselves just a little bit. We're going to plant it down, and we're going to see if canola will grow on it. It will not. Is it because it's not hydrated? Can you even hydrate garden soil? I don't know if you can. Can you till it? I really should know the answers to these questions because I've played with this before. I've played with garden soil before in the Material Energy series, but no, it just doesn't work. So garden soil is of no use to us. How about podzol? Podzol is spruce leaves around dirt. I don't think I have any spruce. I have no spruce leaves, so that's not going to work. I'll have to go find spruce to test that. For right now, we're just going to go with good old-fashioned dirt. So, we are going to use several different methods to increase the growth speed of our canola. And then we're going to use a couple of different methods to harvest it as well. We're going to go ahead and lay out our base. This is the interior of this room is 9 by 9 for those who are keeping score. All right. So we've got this, and right in the center of this room, which is going to be 4 in from each side, we're going to bump a hole. And we're probably also going to need to punch a hole through the floor there, because that is where we're going to put an aqueous accumulator. An aqueous accumulator is tin gear, I don't know how to make tin gears automatically. I'll have to fix that. I really should just automate the ability to produce the machine casings. Aqueous accumulator. We need a pneumatic servo. We need 2 copper gears. We need a bucket. We need some glass, and we need our machine frame. There we go, aqueous accumulator. We're also going to need 2 buckets of water. And we're going to need an empty tank. We're also going to want to make a sprinkler. Sprinkler is an open blocks thing. It is iron bars, iron ingots, redstone, torch to get a sprinkler. That is going to give us some basic hydration for the soil. So let's go get ourselves a couple of buckets of water. We can do that from our Thaumcraft room here. And I need to not only get rid of some of the canola in my inventory, like most of it, or keep 2 stacks, but I also need my pickaxe. So let's get my pickaxe, we'll go back downstairs. Then in here, I need to punch a hole here, here, and here. In these 2, we're going to put water buckets. Just like that. In this one, we're going to put our aqueous accumulator. He's going to start accumulating water and feed it up to this tank. The sprinkler on top of the tank is going to hydrate the soil for us. So we can now come through here and till all of this, and we don't have to worry about the soil dehydrating out. Oh, broke my mattock. That's why it's not working all of a sudden. At some point, I really seriously need to make a better mattock. Oh wait, it's stone mattock. Yeah, I really need a better mattock. Again, I'm making a better mattock off camera. You guys have seen Tinker's Construct tool creation before. Me building a better mattock is not going to be anything that's going to be like particularly entertaining if you see it on camera. Alright, so we're going to use the watering can just to make sure we get good hydration all around as a baseline to get started. Right? Right. We're going to plant our canola. And we're going to go ahead and just kind of... Wait, why? Why is the canola not planting there? There's something about that one particular, there's something about those particular spots. Oh, I wonder if it's too dark. I wonder if it's too dark for him to grow in some of these places. Well, this will answer that question. Yep, it's too dark. Once you get out to these, it's, I guess, too dark. F3 tells us that the light level here... Where is the light level? I can never frickin' find this. Nine? Yeah, the light level's getting down to 9 there. Whereas here it's 11, here it's 10. So anywhere where there's a light level of 9, canola won't grow. So we're going to have to light this better. Don't worry, I've got something in mind. Now here it's going to light because it's getting light from out there, I guess. Wonder if my lamp is starting to encroach in here. Okay, anyway, let's turn off F3. So that is our first hydration method, and you can see it's working pretty well. Now part of this is the fact that I'm standing here. I'm wearing armor that has a sigil of growth in it. That's going to make this canola grow faster when I'm standing in here. Don't take this growth as, oh my god, this thing is amazing. No, this is currently 2 methods of boosting production that's working here. Let's go work on our third method of boosting production, which we've seen in a different we've seen it before. It's going to be the sprinkler from AgriCraft, which looks like I'm going to need some wood planks. I don't have any wood planks, really. A sprinkler from AgriCraft. We're going to need some iron bars too. One AgriCraft sprinkler, please. We're also going to need 1 water tank, which means we're going to need some oak planks. You know what? Just make me a couple hundred, please. Thank you. All right. Wooden water tanks. We're going to go ahead and get 9 of them, and then we're going to need some of this irrigation channel also. Let's see. Down we go. And then over here, off to one side, we're going to call it this side. We're going to put into our wall our water tanks. Underneath it, we're going to put another aqueous accumulator. So let's go get our second aqueous accumulator. Now I could pipe from the other one, but I'm too lazy. So we're not going to do that. Get you. And you. And you. And you. We're going to need our 2 buckets of water again. Back down to Thumbcraft. Back up to Rotarycraft. And you can see one of the dangers of having a ceiling that's only 3 high. So we're going to break that and move it up. There we go. Is my inventory really full? No, it's not. I don't know what's going on there. All right, water bucket. Water bucket. That's what's going on there. It wants to get to me, but it can't. Just break out the prismatic diorite. Go up one so that it can reach me. There we go. No more floating cobble. Put down our aqueous accumulator. Put down our water tanks. We're going to see it start to fill up. There we go. We're going to run this irrigation channel 4 blocks out, 5 blocks out actually. On the underside of that, we're going to put the sprinkler. That is our second method of irrigation. Once these water channels actually fill, this thing will start sprinkling, and that's going to increase our growth rate even further. But we're still not done. There's another item that I'm going to add to this entire setup that's going to boost this thing into super overdrive. That required me to do a little bit of work off camera with Thaumcraft, because we're going to use a lamp of growth to totally ramp this thing up. If we take a look at the lamp of growth, it's under Artifice. The lamp of growth is an infusion. It requires 16 Victus, 8 Lux, 16 Herba, 2 gold, 2 bone meal, 2 earth shards, and an arcane lamp. Now, I don't have any arcane lamps currently, but they're easy enough to make. It's a daylight sensor, an amber block, nitor, and iron. So we basically just need the daylight sensor. Easy enough to get. We're also going to need a block of amber, piece of nitor, a couple of iron. We'll go downstairs and pay a visit to our arcane work table. You, and you. Now we just need some V from a wand, which I totally forgot to bring down. Let's get our Thaumium Boss Silver Wand, which I really should take that warding focus off of there at some point. Alright, there's our arcane lamp. So, we're going to need some Lux Essentia. We're going to need some Lux Essentia, 8 of it total. We're going to need some Victus Essentia. Victus. Let's see where we can get Victus from. Victus is from, well, we can get it from eggs, or we can get it from flowers. Flowers might be the easiest way to go. How much Victus is in that? Yeah, we only need 16, so we'll use this. And for Lux, we'll just use torches. We're also going to need some files. And we're going to need some jars, some warded jars. I've got 13 of them. Now, I've already off camera gotten myself quite a bit of herba, which is derived just straight from leaves. We're going to need some alumentium too. Herba is derived straight from leaves, so I went out and sheared a bunch of leaves off camera. Something you guys didn't need to see. It was going to be boring shit. So, alright. We're only going to need 8 Lux, so I'm going to toss 8 torches in there. Then we're going to toss our dandelions in. We're going to pull out our Lux. And then we're just going to double check and make sure we have everything we need. Artifice, 8 Lux, 16 Herba, 16 Victus. So, once this is done filtering out, we'll actually have a little bit of extra herba, we've got some census, which I don't think I have anywhere already, but we're going to need to put down 3 more of these jars. We're going to do 1, 2, then we're going to do 3, just because. All right, in this one, we're going to put our Lux. In this one, we're going to put our Victus. And in this one, we're going to put our, this one over here, we're going to put our Census. I didn't want Census in there. I want Herba in there. 16. You know what? We've got some extra Alimentum going here. Let's go ahead and get ourselves just a little bit of extra, just in case we have instability. Because an instability effect could really ruin our day. Let's go ahead and put our Lux in here. We'll pull out our Victus, our Census, and our Herba. We're going to get them on our hotbar, ready to go. All right, 2 more Victus, 2 more Herba. There we go. The arcane lamp that we made is the thing that we're going to infuse. So we're going to put that on there. If we take a look at this, it takes 2 earth shards, 2 gold, 2 bone meal. So let's go get those. Two earth shards. By the way, did you notice the ridiculous amount of iron that I have? Yeah. 2 gold. Actually, you know what? We're going to get a little bit of extra each, just in case of instability. And we're going to get some bone meal. Yes, I have a stupidly ridiculous amount of bone meal too. You might say, well, why aren't you using bone meal to fertilize your canola field? Well, because bone meal isn't renewable. Not easily anyway. I could set up something to renew it, but I won't need to with everything else that I've got going on. So, earth shards have to be opposing each other for effect. Gold, we're going to put opposing each other. Bone meal, opposing each other. And we're going to make sure we have a little bit of dirt on our hotbar just in case we need to sop up some V or some flux. Never hurts to have a couple of pieces of dirt when you're doing this, because if you get a flux effect on one of your pedestals, it could be nearly impossible to put the item back on. Let's go ahead and eat before I do this. There we go. And infusion start. Okay, we're pulling the Herba. We're pulling the Lux. We're pulling the Victus. We're currently good as far as instability. We're still good. We're absorbing gold. Bone meal. Earth shard. Gold. Bone meal. Earth shard. And our infusion's done. We have a Lamp of Growth. The Lamp of Growth is an extremely nifty item from Thaumcraft. When you place it down, it emits light, and that light makes things grow. However, there's a catch. When you first place this thing down, the amount of light that it puts out is pretty pathetic. We're actually going to need to set it right on top of that. Right on top of the sprinkler. There we go. The amount of light this thing puts out is pretty pathetic. It needs to be powered for maximum effect. I mean, if you look at this place where the canola we couldn't plant, we still can't plant it. It's not putting out enough light to even light that. above a 9. We need to do something about that. In order to do that, you have to infuse it with herba. So, warded jar. Fly, not stomp. A warded jar on top of the thing, filled with herba. Now, is that actually going to work? Or does it have to be piped in now? It might actually have to be piped in. Yeah, it's still not working. Okay, so we'll need to pipe it in. It's okay, we can break that. Let's go see what it's going to take us to get some Essentia pipes. Which is under alchemy? Yeah, Essentia tubes. Is just some quicksilver, some glass, some iron, and gold nugget. Let's go get that. It's a quicksilver drop. A gold nugget. Iron. And glass. I'm totally out of regular glass. That's not good. That'll fix that. Alright, in our arcane work table, quicksilver drop, gold nugget, glass, iron, add magic, get Essentia tube. Alright, let's head back upstairs and take flight. We're going to put the Essentia tube down on there. Why are you not connecting? Alright, this lamp of growth is confusing the hell out of me. You can tell I've never actually played with the lamp of growth before. I just thought, hey, wouldn't it be cool to use the lamp of growth in this? Yeah, Essentia can be fed into the lamp by attaching it directly to an Essentia piping system. Well, that's what this is, isn't it? Does this have to go over top? Like, does the lamp have to sit on top of the Essentia pipe? No. If I put the thing right on top of there. Hey, now it works. Alright, so, lamp of growth has to go on top of the warded jar. So we'll put the warded jar down on top of the sprinkler. No, not the lamp of growth. The warded jar. Warded jar. Lamp of growth. There we go. Now we're getting lights to our entire canola farm. We're going to back out of here and we're going to come in and we're going to see that we can now plant some of the areas that we couldn't plant before. Some of them are still going to be a pain in the ass. Well, I might be able to counter that by doing something like this. No, I'm not leaving these here. I'm just doing this. Put some extra torches on here. That should light it well enough. Yeah, now we've got adequate light. Alright, so our canola farm is now growing. And not only is it growing, it's growing like fucking gangbusters. Let's plant this canola plant here and watch how fast this grows. Now remember, part of this is the effect of the sigil of growth that I have on me. But, well, actually it's not growing that fast. Anyway, it works. Let's get on to stage 2. Stage 2 is going to require us to have a way to harvest all of that. We're going to do that with a fan. You guys haven't seen fans yet, but they are a nice item added by Rotary Craft. Where is it? The Rotary Craft fan is wood planks, an impeller, shaft unit, and base panels, and a work table. So we need an impeller. We need some base panels. We need a shaft unit. And we need some wood. Over to our work table where we'll put this thing together. Just like that. There's our fan. If we take a look at the fan, it has a minimum power of 1024 kilowatts. And you can see it's got a nice little display there. You can't really see a whole lot for it, but now, how do we power this thing? Well, the easiest way to do it is with, let's see, how are we going to want to do this? How's my diamond supply? I've got 100, but I've got 23 ore. I do have some gearboxes there, but it's not the kind I want. You can actually power this thing with a DC electric engine. But if we take a look at the Rotary Craft manual, and we take a look at the entry for the fan. Farming. We're going to see the fan, minimum power of 1024 watts of power is required. Required power, blah, 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 range is 8 plus power minus min power, yada, yada, yada. Harvesting speed requires 512 rad. So we need at least 512 rad in order to be able to uproot plants with this thing. Our DC electric engine produces 256 rad, but it does produce exactly the amount of power we need. Now, this thing though doesn't have the kind of power it's going to need to uproot an entire field that's 9 wide. Remember, the fan has a range of 8. Power minus min power times 2 divided by 124. Yada yada, whatever. So I'm not going to do the math right now. What I am going to do is I'm going to tell you we're not going to use DC electric engines. We're going to skip a level and we're going to go straight for steam. A steam engine produces 16 kilowatts at the 512 rad it needs. So we are going to need 9 impellers, 9 condensers, 9 shaft units, 18 base panels, 9 copper, and a bunch of cobble. Cobble's easy, so I'm just going to make one of these on camera because I'm running a little low on steel and I don't want you guys to sit through me making a whole bunch of steel. So I'm going to make one of these things on camera just to show you how this thing works. There we go. Now we need our condenser. We got one of them. We need some copper, a couple of base panels, a shaft unit, which we have one left. We need some base panels, 2 of them to be exact. We need an ingot of gold or an ingot of copper. I'm going to use copper just because I have more of it. And we need a handful of cobble. Let's go get this thing. You, 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 and you. Steam engine. We're going to use netherrack to power it with flint and steel. We're going to use liquid transfer node with a couple of world interaction upgrades. And we're going to want some speed upgrades for this too. So we're going to make ourselves 4 blocks of redstone to get ourselves 4 speed upgrades. We're going to need 2 buckets of water. So we'll go down to Thaumcraft to get our buckets of water. Back upstairs. And we're going to punch through this wall. Now, I am going to put my torches back up on the wall here, just to make sure we're keeping adequate lighting for the canola on this side. These torches should handle the entire farm, but I want to be 100% sure. Okay, we're going to need to punch through the wall a little further. Oh, I did not mean to do that. It's going to uproot the entire farm. Damn it. Okay, note to self, don't do that. It created water sources. There, that gets rid of the sources. Okay, let's retill this and replant it. If nothing else, you guys will get to see the harvest speed. As a matter of fact, I'm going to go clean up my inventory just a little bit, and this episode is going to run a little long because I want you guys to see the effect of the fan before I end this episode. So let's get rid of some of the stuff in my inventory that I don't need right away. The stone, the bone meal, the quicksilver drops. I don't need my wand. I don't need these earth shards. I don't need the appetite, although it's nice to have a little extra. I don't need the essentia tubes. They were worthless anyway. And I'm going to take off my bound leggings so that it cancels the effect of my Green Grove ritual. So you guys can see when I replant this canola, what you're going to see here is the true growth rate unaffected by that sigil. Notice that the area that I planted to begin with is already getting kind of up there. Yeah, we're going to have a pretty ridiculous amount of seeds here pretty quick, but we're going to need them. Hey, you can see a nice particle effect coming from the lamp of growth as it goes around and fertilizes my crops for me. Nice. All right, middle of the room. We're going to put a fan. We're going to put him right here. He takes power from the back, so we're going to put power behind him. Behind that is where we're going to have our transfer node with the water. Liquid transfer node there. World interaction upgrades, speed upgrades. And break that out so it'll start picking up. Now I do have a bit of a concern about that, about the sprinkler there, stopping canola from being blown out. But we're going to see how it works. I need a transfer tube. That's going to start filling that steam engine. We're going to dig under it, plant down a piece of netherrack, light it on fire, and once that heats up, that is going to get this fan running, and the fan is going to blow the canola over to this side of the room. On this side of the room, we're going to break all this out. Right here, on this side, we're going to dig all this out. On these blocks here, I am actually going to leave dirt. Actually, you know what? I'm going to leave dirt on all of it, I think. We're going to punch a hole in our wall right there. And we're going to put a piece of dirt here. We're going to get a transfer tube, or a transfer node, an item transfer node. And another of those world interaction upgrades. Sticks. Of all the things that I don't have, I'm missing sticks. Pickaxe, world interaction upgrade get. We're also going to need some conveyors from MFR, which is rubber bars, iron, redstone. I don't have any rubber? I'm always missing something, aren't I? That'll do for now. Three rubber bars gets us our conveyor belts, which we're going to put on our hotbar. We go downstairs. Oh, hey, look. There's a gigantic, huge area of our field that's been blown apart. Well, that's not good. We need a way to harvest that, don't we? Enter the transfer node. An item transfer node, if given a world interaction upgrade, acts like a vacuum hopper. So, oh, we're going to have to figure out some way to pipe herba into this system, aren't we? As this thing grows, and I'm now going to put the pants back on so that it grows a little faster, I'm also going to take off my ring so that I'm not automatically pulling it up. Now, as this fan works, and as it goes through and uproots the plants, it should automatically push the plants down to the end of the room where it should put them on the conveyor, and that item transfer node should suck everything in. This plant here has reached maximum growth state. It's been uprooted, it gets shipped up to the item transfer node, and if we take a look in the transfer node, we have nothing. Why don't we have anything? Did I accidentally get too close and pick it up? Could have sworn that worked. Oh well, I might have to make an actual vacuum hopper. Yeah, let's just make an actual vacuum hopper. Screw it. Vacuum hoppers from open blocks. It's pretty easy to make. We just need an eye vendor. There we go. Vacuum hopper get. Downstairs, we'll rip up our fancy item transfer node. We'll just pop our vacuum hopper on there. And we're going to interact with it, and we're going to tell it items can come out this side. Now, any of our canola that gets uprooted and shipped out will end up there. However, you might notice that it's only pushing the canola that uproots in its own, it's only going to push the canola that gets uprooted in its own section, in its own line. We're actually going to need 9 of these fans, one to handle each row. And this row I'm actually going to break entirely because it's getting caught on the sprinkler. So, this section here, I might use to pipe Essentia through. But if you watch, that canola plant right there is in line with that fan. When it uproots, it's going to get blown into that wall, the conveyor is going to catch it, and it's going to go into our chest. So we now have a chest to hold our canola seeds that get harvested from our farm. All I have to do is go through and replicate this 9 times and put a sound muffler in here because, oh my god, this is loud. So, that is going to get us our automatic canola farm. I'm going to finish this farm off camera, and then next episode we're going to get into the processing of canola into lubricants at high speeds. Here's a tip. Remember we said we're not going to use those gas turbines anymore? Well, we're going to use them for something. For right now, this has been Nightdagger with episode 36 of Modded Minecraft with Nightdagger Season 5. I hope you guys are enjoying the series so far and are looking forward to where it's going. And I'll catch you later, peeps.